Maureen McCormick finally comes clean about David Cassidy at the age of 69. On August 5, 1956, Maureen McCormick was born in Encino, California, as Maureen Denise McCormick. Growing up in a middle-class household, McCormick showed an early interest in entertainment and performance. She was an ideal fit for the acting industry because of her innate charm, vivacious personality, and indisputable talent. Additionally, she had started making appearances in television roles and commercials by the time she was a young adolescent. At the age of 12, she was cast as the Brady family's eldest daughter, a role that would define her career and make her a household name. This was her big break. With its wholesome family humor and compelling plots that appealed to viewers of all ages, The Brady Bunch quickly became a classic. McCormick played Marcia Brady, the stereotypical all-American girl, beautiful, compassionate, and well-liked, but also vulnerable and approachable. Her portrayal gave the character warmth and charm, and her delivery of well-known lines like Marcia, Marcia, Marcia solidified her place in television history. During a period of significant social change in America, the show's humorous tone brought solace and happiness to families, and McCormick's contribution was crucial in establishing that cultural legacy. Reruns and spin-offs guarantee that her portrayal of Marcia will be discovered and adored by new generations even after decades have passed. Maureen McCormick's iconic performance as Marcia Brady on the venerable television series The Brady Bunch, which ran from 1969 to 1974, was the catalyst for her quick ascent to fame. Marcia, with her beauty, charm, and hint of mischief, the stereotypically American adolescent girl won over millions of viewers from a variety of generations. McCormick's enduring popularity was aided by her ability to play a character who was both relatable and aspirational. Audiences around the world, not just in the U.S., were moved by her performance. As the Brady Bunch gained popularity, it sparked stage adaptations, merchandise, and reruns. Because of the character's widespread appeal, many spin-offs and special projects were made possible. The miniseries The Brady Brides, which followed Marcia and Jan's adventures as newlyweds and examined the shift from adolescence to adult responsibilities, was a manifestation of this influence in 1981. The Brady Girls Get Married, a made-for-TV film released that same year, further broadened McCormick's appeal by showcasing the public's ongoing interest in the Brady family's narratives and Marcia's journey in particular. These endeavors highlighted Maureen McCormick's pivotal role in establishing the Brady legacy in addition to the timeless appeal of the original series. However, McCormick found himself at a crossroads in both his personal and professional life when The Bradys, a contemporary reimagining of The Brady Bunch, debuted in 1990. She had just given birth to her daughter by then, so she was unable to return to her cherished role as Marcia Brady. Fans and producers alike felt this absence, highlighting the particular difficulties child stars frequently encounter as they grow up. The conflict between career opportunities and personal obligations was brought to light by McCormick's brief departure from the series, a delicate balancing act that many young actors have experienced. Even though she was unable to take part in this new version of the franchise, her reputation as Marcia was unaffected, and her previous roles continued to draw new audiences through home video releases and reruns, establishing her as a cultural icon. After The Brady Bunch concluded, McCormick deftly expanded her acting career, making numerous guest appearances on well-known television shows in the 1970s and 1980s. She made memorable appearances on shows like Love Boat, Happy Days, Vega, Fantasy Island, Streets of San Francisco, and Donnie and Marie, demonstrating her charm and versatility. With each of these appearances, McCormick was able to break free from the Brady persona and showcase her versatility as a performer, ranging from dramatic storytelling to lighthearted comedy. In addition to keeping her in the spotlight, these parts gave her the experience and credibility she needed to advance from child star to more established actress in Hollywood's cutthroat industry. McCormick expanded her acting repertoire and demonstrated her versatility by taking on supporting parts in feature films in addition to her television work. She was able to engage audiences on a different artistic level when she starred in the 1980 drama The Idolmaker, which examined the music business. She demonstrated her ability to handle suspenseful and action-packed narratives in her 1979 film A Vacation in Hell. Her relevance in pop culture was further cemented in 1979 when she was able to capitalize on the craze for roller skating and the lively youth culture of the time through Skate Town, USA. Later, McCormick showed that she could tackle darker, more humorous horror material in Return to Horror High, 1987, demonstrating that her skills were not limited to teen dramas or lighthearted sitcoms. Her willingness to push herself as an actress and grow beyond her early fame while retaining the friendly, approachable traits that first won her millions of fans was demonstrated by these diverse roles. Although McCormick has achieved success in her career, her path has not always been straightforward. She experienced personal difficulties after becoming famous, just like many child stars. Long after the show ended, she opened up about her struggles with addiction, insecurities, and the difficulties of being Marsha Brady. She shared the highs and lows of her professional and personal life in her frank memoir. Here's the story: Surviving Marsha Brady and Finding My True Voice, giving readers a close-up view of her perseverance, survival, and ultimate recovery. In addition to making her more relatable to her admirers, her candor served as motivation for many who were going through difficult times of their own. Maureen McCormick has made a fresh and positive comeback to the public in recent years. She competed on Dancing with the Stars, showcasing her elegance, tenacity, and charisma to a completely new audience. In addition, she co-hosted the home renovation program Frozen in Time and made appearances on Get Me Out of Here and I'm a Celebrity, which showcased her love of design and creativity. She demonstrated through these endeavors that her skill and allure have persisted through the ages. Best known for playing Marsha Brady on the popular 1970s sitcom The Brady Bunch, Maureen McCormick had a difficult and frequently painful journey in her personal and professional life after the cameras stopped rolling. She developed a tumultuous relationship with her co-star Barry Williams, who portrayed Greg Brady, while she was on the show. Their youthfulness, the demands of celebrity, and the fact that their on-screen personas were siblings made their relationship intense but turbulent, making any real-life romance all the more contentious and challenging to handle. Long after the series concluded, their passionate relationship would continue, influencing a few of McCormick's early adult decisions. Like many of her peers, McCormick had to make the challenging transition from child star to adult actress after The Brady Bunch was canceled in 1974. Regretfully, she discovered that she was slipping into a risky way of life that was fueled by cocaine and Quaaludes. These drugs, which were easily obtained in Hollywood at the time, took up her energy, warped her perception of herself, and finally put a stop to her once bright career. McCormick's addiction prevented her from taking advantage of her fame and talent, as she frequently skipped auditions or arrived too inebriated to perform. She was fighting personal demons like bulimia and depression in addition to her substance abuse, which fueled a vicious cycle of self-destruction. Further cut her off from the prosperous, healthy life she so desperately desired. The marriage of McCormick to actor Michael Cummings on March 16, 1985, marked a sea change. Their bond gave her the stability and affection she sorely needed. In contrast to many of her past relationships, Cummings was unwavering and dedicated, which assisted her in gradually regaining the self-assurance and organization she had lost during the turbulent years after the Brady Bunch. When they welcomed their only child, Natalie Michelle, in 1989, McCormick's perspective on life was drastically altered. She felt a sense of purpose and responsibility as a mother, which inspired her to live a more balanced and healthful life. McCormick started the drawn-out and agonizing process of recovery after realizing she needed to face her inner struggles and enrolling in therapy and rehabilitation programs. She was able to address her addictions and the psychological damage caused by years of bulimia and depression with the help of professional treatment. Antidepressants like Prozac, which were prescribed to her, helped to stabilize her mental health and improved her ability to handle her difficulties. More importantly, McCormick never lost her Brady Bunch family's support. In her adult life, the cast, who had become close over the years on set, remained a surrogate family, providing friendship, support, and understanding when she most needed it. Their enduring relationship served as a reminder that she was not alone in spite of her struggles, and that the Brady family's common heritage conveyed a message of love, forgiveness, and resiliency. Through a mix of friendship, medicine, therapy, and love, Maureen McCormick put her life back together piece by piece. Although she had some obstacles along the way, her bravery in facing her past and accepting her recovery is evidence of her strength. Her story now serves as a warning about the perils of addiction and celebrity, as well as an inspiration for how willpower and the help of loved ones can rescue someone from the verge of suicide and lead to a purposeful, healing life. At the age of 69, Maureen McCormick made the decision to speak out about her long-rumored relationship with teen idol David Cassidy, a topic that had captivated both stars' fans for decades. Whether the two had been more than just friends during the 1970s, when they were at the height of their fame, had been the subject of years of conjecture. McCormick, who gained notoriety for her iconic portrayal of Marcia Brady on The Brady Bunch, had deliberately avoided confronting the issue head-on in order to shield her personal life from the media. But now that she was older and wiser from a career that had seen both successes and heartbreaking setbacks, she was frank and shared what actually went on behind the scenes. According to McCormick's interview, she and Cassidy met at publicity events in the early 1970s, when both were at the height of their teen celebrity. While McCormick was viewed as the golden girl next door, Cassidy, who played Keith Partridge on The Partridge Family, was America's ultimate heartthrob. She admitted, "We were both living in this whirlwind of fame. Crowds, yelling fans, and people expecting us to be flawless were present everywhere we went. In addition to being extremely isolating, it was intoxicating. Because they had a deeper understanding of the pressures than anyone else, the two young stars found solace in each other's company." Cassidy was more than a passing acquaintance, McCormick acknowledged. At last she admitted that there was a connection between David and me. Although the romance was brief, it felt very real at the time. When the cameras weren't rolling, I could trust him, he made me laugh, and he made me feel seen. Her words, which were delivered with tenderness and melancholy, described a brief but meaningful connection. McCormick also admitted that she had kept the relationship quiet due to the image she had to uphold at the time, as well as out of respect for Cassidy. "The studios at the time wanted us to appear immaculate and nearly untouchable. There might have been mayhem if it had been revealed that I was seeing David, or even just that I was close to him. They desired fantasy rather than typical relationships with their teen idols." Although she acknowledged that the secrecy was difficult to endure, she and Cassidy both recognized the importance of safeguarding their careers. There was sadness in McCormick's voice as he reflected on Cassidy's later struggles, such as his fight with alcoholism and his deteriorating health that ultimately resulted in his death in 2017. She remarked, "I wish I could have been there more for him. Fame is cruel, but David had such a lovely soul. It gives you a huge boost, but it can also bring you down. I had experienced my own battles with addiction and depression, so I understood how that felt. Although our paths diverged, in a sense we were mirroring each other's suffering." McCormick's revelation was not about scandal, but rather about giving a long mythical chapter in their lives a human face. She insisted that it had nothing to do with headlines or tabloid romance. It was about two children who discovered a genuine and compassionate spark in a crazy, dizzying world. "I will never forget that, and I will always be appreciative of him." Her readiness to talk candidly at age 69 demonstrated the maturity of a person who had accepted her past. McCormick made it clear that she wanted Cassidy's admirers to see him as a multifaceted, sensitive individual who made a lasting impression on everyone around him, rather than just as the teenage idol who appeared on magazine covers. She said that David was so much more than the posters hanging on the walls of the bedroom. In addition to being humorous and giving, he was much heavier than most people realized. For fans, McCormick's remarks were a heartfelt remembrance and a long-awaited validation of half-century-old rumors. She gave the relationship the respect and genuineness it merited, even though she refrained from making it seem dramatic. "The truth is straightforward," she said. "I will always treasure the fact that David Cassidy was special to me.